Alright guys and girls, this is Jerningham here. Home Secretary has announced 800 fines for these attending house parties, doubling for every repeat offence up to a maximum of 6,400. So you can see here, I'm not joking about this. I don't know if it means that the UK numbers got mine than Wales, but there's the ambulance place, as we all know what an ambulance hospital looks like. There we go. So they're going to be fining people then, by the looks of things then. And it's talking about that's all the same really. It's showing really Thompson's Hospital, St Mary's, where the coronavirus is still bad. As you can see here, there's a lot of hospital beds in the hospital of coronavirus. A lot of family members will be sad seeing their families in hospital. Some probably don't know they're in hospital, but like I say, it's very straining and very tiring for a lot of staff and the workers that work there. Long hours and long shifts, but you know, thank God for the NHS, as some people would say. We've got a good system in this country, because other countries wouldn't have a system like this. They're short-staffed. Actually are short-staffed in hospitals, care homes, and everywhere across our country of the UK, especially Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. It's very straining, very tiring for all these NHS workers. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say about this video, except they're working hard, these NHS workers. Some people thank them because of the jobs they do and applause them. They just don't know what they're doing at the moment. It's a very stressful job for them all. They're trying to look after people and make sure people don't die and other people do die. It's a very stressful job being on the front line, as one would say. And some people don't know how stressful it is or realise how it is. We're going to be seeing what we'll be doing.
Your staff who have been absolutely incredible. You know, their training has been suspended or put on hold. We support the nursing staff. As a consultant body, we support one another. It is relentless, and those are the words I'm going to use constantly. It is a relentless exercise. And the sad thing is, it's become almost normal for us now. We go home, we're exhausted at night. I'm struggling to sleep. A lot of my colleagues struggle to sleep because we're thinking about the day and the next day afterwards. And
just Smith,
we don't
West
even know when this will end and how it will end and whether there'll be another surge. We don't know. But we just have to deal with what we have right now because we've got a job to do.
And I was reading today about the number of doctors and nurses getting sick. Are you having to look after your own colleagues on occasion?
No, that's absolutely right. So it is taking a toll on our staff.
Those more than 15 people have doubled for repeat offences or offenders,
routine illnesses,
up to a maximum.
Flu and with COVID. And again, we can't factor that in when we're strategizing months ago. We just have to deal on the day with what we've got. We pull together, try and get resources from elsewhere, especially with the nursing. We can share them across the trust. But as doctors...
Hold on a minute here, guys and girls. Just need to so we've got to try and find the rest of this and news.
Doctors on a consultant level in intensive care at the hospital. And again, I can stand for my colleagues, incredible colleagues who just pull together and roll their sleeves up and come.
It's a very stressful job that these people do.
We're ready to come in whenever we need to.
Yeah, and are you and your colleagues, what's the word, distressed that some people, a minority of people in this country, don't seem to be taking it seriously?
It's frustrating. Does it anger me? No, but it frustrates me. I read a lot on the social media about conspiracy theories, how the hospitals are empty. I'd love to invite those people into these hospitals and show them exactly what's going on through those doors. Because you read about empty hospitals, empty wards, the ICU is not really that busy, but I'll tell people right now, it is a war zone in there. We're dealing with a war. It's the second time round. and I don't know if it's to come again, but hopefully we'll be prepared.
Because there are COVID deniers, they're being called, staging demonstrations outside hospitals, almost unbelievably.
In some respects, I can understand, because they're not allowed to come and see for themselves. They can't see their relatives, which is frustrating. They can't see what's happening inside the four walls of the hospital. And how we prove that to them, I don't know. Obviously, by having communication links like this, should, in some respects, convince them that this is not a hoax, this is not a conspiracy theory, and we are dealing with something that is life-changing for many, many people. But I suppose we just have to continue with what we're doing and re-emphasizing that the hospitals are busy, the patients are getting excellent care, and this is not something that is made up or is the grand plan of somebody else's.
And presumably many doctors and nurses have had by now the first dose of the vaccine. If it was the Pfizer vaccine, how concerned are you about the delay in getting the second dose? Because I think it also applies, the 12-week delay applies also to doctors and nurses and frontline staff.
And that's right. To be honest, I'm not too aware about the protocols and who's made those decisions. At the end of the day, I just want to get the job done. I'm protected within the hospital. I wear my safety equipment. I've had my first jab. My colleagues have all had their first jab. The hospital's been stringent about making sure it's rolled out to the frontline workers. There are people out there who make decisions about whether we get the second dose within a specific number of weeks. We're just going to have to trust them in order to get through this.
Mind you, if some people are waiting for the second dose of coronavirus vaccine, won't some of them people die until they get the second dose? Because if they're having the first dose and they catch the coronavirus again the second time, will it not be as lucky and unfortunate than most other people? Some people may last that long, some people probably won't. That's what the worries are, in my opinion.
There were doctors saying earlier, or NHS leaders saying earlier, that this could go on for another week or two before the peak, or they may see the peak at the end of this week. How does it compare with the first wave in the way that you're treating people? Are you able now to treat people better?
I think 9 months on, we've learned a lot about COVID. There are more treatments out there, not especially curative, but they do help the patient care and progress. We've learned a lot more about how we need to do things with regards to daily support of the patient and their individual organs. And also, we gained a lot more about how the process evolves on ICU with each individual patient. So we feel a little bit more confident in what we do with each patient, definitely.
And when you look ahead to the coming days and weeks, what goes through your mind, and what are your main concerns?
The number of patients that are coming through day by day doesn't seem to be subsiding. It's not stopping. I think, I don't look past next week, in all honesty. I look at my colleagues and how much they're working and how hard they're working. And I think we just have to figure out what we need to do for this particular day, this next 24 hours, look at next week, and then plan what we can do in a short term fix rather than sort of long term, because who knows what will happen in the long term. We hear about these strains. We talk about the Kent strain, the Brazilian strain. It's physical and material resources in order to provide the care that we need to do.
And just finally, I said earlier that the NHS always somehow manages to cope. You think you can get through this, at the hospital where you are anyway?
We're stretched. There is no doubt about it. We're stretched. We're at the maximum what we can provide. We've also got to remember that when we get through this, we're going to need the emotional and physical energy to pick up on where we've left off, which is all the other elective cases and all the treatment of patients that haven't had COVID. We've got to carry on with all that and pick up their backlog. But I think as an NHS, I think it's delivered. It is delivering. It involves pulling together, and there's been a lot of that. And by doing that, we continue to provide the care that we set out to do.
Okay, Dr. Wahid, appreciate you coming on the program, and we, on behalf of the viewers, we appreciate what you do. Thank you very much indeed.
Well,
right, this is the News Hour at 6. Coming next, why new mothers are taking the government to court over COVID rules.
anyway, thanks for joining this video, guys and girls. Hope you all enjoyed it. Give it a like, give it a comment. It's still very sad that the world's still a crazy place. Hopefully get better in the future. Or could get worse. Most of us hope it get better. But anyway, thank you for joining me. See you next video. Peace. Let me hear it again. Peace.